Oh, talk about singing all in splendor as your promise. Oh, dear sweet rainbow, allure my feelings, make so timeless. One race for zenith, we together began one day. You led me on as we come, yes, we reached our shoulders, and the timing just to win. Oh, as the race was made, there to be champions. We are winning. Show them. That's the promise. Now that's singing. All things rainbow. As your promise so great is all that sweet rainbow. I brought my feelings to make so timeless. All you friends was we together become one. Just to you make me know
Please let us stand. Let us stand up for the procession.
It's lovely, LAUTECH. You've kept the promise. Now we're singing. All dressed in splendor, as your promise again is kept. Oh, dear sweet rainbow, allure my feelings, make so timeless. One race for zenith, we together began one day. You led me on as we've come this far. We fixed our shoulders and determined just to win. You led me on as the race was made, there to be.
National anthem.
Nigeria, healthy, our own heritage. My tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
Aṣíwájú ni wá, aṣíwájú ni wá, aṣíwájú ni wá, aṣíwájú ni wá. Ipò aṣíwájú l'Ẹlẹ́dùmarè fún wa nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe gírí, ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ ká tẹpá wa mọ́ṣẹ́, ká bára wa sọ̀rọ̀, ká sòdodo, ká ṣohun tó tọ́ tó dára nígbà gbogbo. Onírẹ̀yìn o, lójú mi.
Please, let's be seated. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 61st inaugural lecture of this very great university. This morning, the topic before us is Universal Energy Access for Sustainable Development, Mirage or Reality, and it will be delivered by Professor Funmilayo Lola Osuolale. So please permit me to call on the University Registrar, Mrs. Olanike Balogun, to come and invite the Vice Chancellor to read the citation of the lecturer. Madam Registrar, ma'am.
Thank you. The Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellors, the University Bossa, the University Librarian, all other protocols duly observed. May I, at this juncture, request our dear Vice Chancellor, Professor Razak Olatunde Kalilu, to please rise and do the introduction of the inaugural lecturer. The Vice Chancellor, sir. Thank you.
Citation of Professor Funmilayo Lola Osuolale. Funmilayo Lola Osuolale was born to the family of Reverend Dr. R.Eng and Evangelist F.B. Amuda on the 3rd day of December 1974. She had her primary education at Osukwa Baptist Day School, Ogbomoso. Her junior secondary school was at Baptist Secondary Grammar School, Awuyaya, Ogbomoso, from 1985 to 1988. And her senior secondary school from 1988 to 1991 was at Obaseku High School, Erua. She earned her Bachelor's of Technology and Master of Technology degrees in Chemical Engineering from Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Ogbomoso, respectively in 1998 and 2006. She earned her Doctor of Philosophy degrees in Chemical University, Ile-Ife, in 2011. Moreover, in 2015, she earned her second PhD in chemical engineering with specialization in process modeling and optimization from Newcastle University, United Kingdom. Funmilayo Lola Osuolale started her academic career at Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Ogbomoso, as a teaching assistant in 2004 and was appointed an assistant lecturer in 2006. She rose through the ranks to professor in 2022. Of several scholarships and awards. These include the Commonwealth Scholarship in the United Kingdom, the Commonwealth Alumni Community Award, Fulbright Visiting Scholar at University of Utah, United States of America, from 2021, and the United States Government Exchange Alumni Award in 2024. Our visit to the United States culminated in the signing of Memorandum of Understanding between this university and University of Utah. Our research interest is in process integration and energy system. She's an expert in applied thermodynamics, process modeling, and optimization of energy system. She has more than 60 published articles in offshore and onshore peer-reviewed journals. She has presented several papers at national and international conferences, such as Northern Postgraduate Chemical Engineering Conference, United Kingdom, American Institute of Chemical Engineers, USA, International Congress of Chemical and Process Engineer, International Energy and Environmental Symposium, France, European Symposium in Computer-Aided Process Engineering in Denmark, International Conference on Renewable Energy, Spain, European Conference on Renewable Energy Systems, Turkey, among several others. Professor Mrs. Osuolale is a Korean registered engineer and an active member of several professional bodies such as Nigerian Society of Engineers, Nigerian Society of Chemical Engineers, American Institute of Chemical Engineers, Chemical Institute of Canada, Canadian Society of Chemical Engineers, Organization of Women in Science for Developing World, Association of Professional Women Engineers, Society of Women Engineers, USA, National Organization for the Professional Advancement of Black Chemists and Chemical Engineer, United States of America, and National Association of Women Academics. Such as landmark. About girls and women's empowerment. She is actively involved in several outreaches to girls in secondary school to promote science, technology, engineering, and mathematics-based programs. She recently teamed up with some United States government exchange alumni to organize the program tagged Creating Access, Usability, and Education for Menstrual Health for Girls. Present to you, Mrs. Fumila.
Professor O. Science that posited in its three physical laws. Forces acting on it. Permit me to say something that the survival of the private techniques and indeed a prosperous society of all its process of life. Passive or active about a positive change in our situation. Universal energy access for sustainable development, Mirage or reality. Regardless of geographical locations or socio-economic status. And education, enhance agricultural productivity and function. There are different forms of energy that energy sometimes for transportation and communication networks and access. In September 2015, World leaders adopted 17 Sustainable Development Goals at the United Nations. It is obvious that majority of the SDG can only achieve adequate access to energy services. What then is universal energy access? The simplest definition of energy access is the physical availability of electricity and other energy carriers. It is highly reliable and adequate quantity and quality of energy at an affordable cost to meet basic requirements and for all requirements. Universal energy access is a commitment to eradicate energy poverty. This includes access to electricity, and energy for productive uses, as summarized. The key principles in universal energy access are equity, sustainability, reliability, and affordability. SDG 7 is a great recognition of the important link between energy and development. The targets and indicators are presented in the Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, permit me to briefly explore current energy situation in Nigeria, like the rest of Africa, is insufficient energy. Out of the 660 gigawatts of energy supply, Africa has a business supply of 5.9% as presented. The submission of energy statistics have current demand for energy is estimated at 1,000 megawatts. However, the current output from the total installed electricity capacity of 12,522 megawatts is just 3,800 megawatts. This is 10 of 3. Shortfall of energy demand and supply. 40% of the population in Nigeria is without access to electricity, while those with access face frequent power outages and crippling energy costs. The World Bank estimates that Nigeria loses approximately 2% of its GDP annually due to energy deficiency. Nigeria, Africa's largest economy and the most populous nation, faces a daunting energy challenge. Nigeria has a significant SDGs, has committed to achieving universal energy access. However, the question is, can Nigeria overcome these energy challenges and harness the potential of its vast resources to overcome the menace of energy? These are balance and increasing the efficiency of energy resources. These are the two basic areas on which my research activities in energy are focused. Let me provide a brief overview of these areas. Renewable energy is energy from natural sources that can be replenished at a higher rate than they are consumed. An estimate of about 2,500,000 gigawatts of renewable energy can be available in a year if judiciously harnessed from potential renewable energy sources in the country. The projected amount of energy demand of our nation by 2030 is 45 gigawatts. The values of renewable energy left unexploited is more than enough to meet the energy demands of the country. Universal energy access in Nigeria should not be a mirage, but an attainable reality. From time immemorial, renewable energy from biomass was the main source of energy generation as depicted in figure 5. What then is biomass? Biomass is an organic matter produced by plants as summarized in figure 6. The nation of Nigeria has abundant biomass resources, but the paradox is the traditional use of biomass, which is less efficient and oftentimes injurious to human health. If Nigeria is to achieve its target of increasing energy generation capacity in the country, the vast biomass resources are high value and not inefficient traditional way of agricultural residues generated in Nigeria and the potential that can be derived from. How do we convert biomass to energy? There are two main routes. Energy to do work, or the availability concept, is called exergy. Exergy represents the part of energy which can be converted into maximum useful work. The vivid illustration I can give to distinguish between energy and exergy is like cutting a birthday cake with a big cutlass instead of a table knife. The cutlass will definitely cut the cake, but the energy that is supplied by the cutlass far exceeds what is needed to cut the cake. Exergy analysis is a method that energy efficiency of chemical processing, plenty existing energy reserve, and make the insufficient available energy utilized for more. I suppose I can put my innate ability to manage resources on the home front to bear in my research endeavors. I'm very sure most students here can relate to that. Furthermore, I delved into energy conversion habits on a affordable and efficient scale gasification. I consolidated this research with a visit to the University of the United States of America and was hosted by Professor Permit me to present some of my modest contributions in these two core areas: energy efficiency and energy biomass utilization. I have conducted research on some existing chemical and petrochemical processes in Nigeria targeting the secondary emissions of the process to solve of energy. Let me illustrate that the second-order emissions, Exergy emissions, and thermodynamic emissions are used in thermodynamic analysis of the 220 megawatt thermal plant using this design and data was presented in Osuolale et al. 2009. A thermal plant station has 6 of 220 megawatts. The plant under study was sectionalized into 3, studying the contribution of each section to the efficiency and efficiency. The maximum energy loss of 168 megawatts was so another efficiency in terms of the second round analysis was 23%. Study was efficiency and suggested place. For times to that dramatic situation. A study of the that was very and it is 6.5 and 74% shared in terms of energy. Modifications of the operating and grid conditions of the environment resulted in increase in energetic emissions for as much as 62.3% and 36%. Thermodynamic analysis the total amount of Exergy in the per hour. This translates to about 60% of Exergy loss in the system. The second law efficiency of the plant was 46. Operational data of the plant, Osuolale and Osuolale 2016B. The result of the monetary cost of the inlet and outlet streams of each unit, as well as the overall system, are shown in Table 2. The Exergy of each stream is seen to have a direct relationship with the cost of the stream, and hence, an improvement in the Exergy of the system has an economic benefit on the plant. Other research work on cement plant are presented in Okoji, Osuolale et al. 2021 and 2022. Thermochemical decomposition of water to hydrogen. Osuolale et al. 2018 focused on thermodynamic analysis of the copper chlorine cycles. This is a promising technology for large-scale production of hydrogen. The results are as projected. And the results from the parametric analysis of the simulated process could assist ongoing efforts to understand the thermodynamic losses in the cycle, improve efficiency, increase the economic viability of the process, and facilitate eventual commercialization of the process. Exergy and energy analysis of the presented systems and processes indicate gross inefficiency in most of the processes considered. With the second law analysis, the potential for improvement of the processes was not concealed, and the performance of the system compared to optimum possible performance can be seen. Apart from the analysis, I have researched improving energy efficiency through different techniques. I present them as follows. Exergy rate diagrams. We have developed the stage exergy rate diagrams for determining feasible operating conditions in binary distillation columns and studied the effects of key process parameters on the stage exergy rate diagrams, energy and exergy efficiencies, and irreversibility rate as various conditions. Osuolale 2006 and Osuolale et al. 2009. Figures 11A and B give feasible and infeasible operating conditions for the benzene-toluene system based on exergy rate profiles, and Table 5 gives the summary of the sensitivity analysis. It is clearly seen that even though some process conditions have higher exergy efficiencies, they cannot be considered if they are constricted or are not feasible from the exergy rate diagrams. It was shown that the stage exergy rate diagram is a very useful thermodynamic tool for determining feasible and infeasible operating conditions in the distillation columns and should be used to complement exergy efficiency results in exergy studies. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, this is one of the earliest reported works on the use of exergy rate diagrams in diagnosing distillation column operations. In another study, two objective functions representing the second law efficiency and the operating cost in binary distillation operation were empirically derived and used to optimize the operations of the distillation column. The responses of the system to variation in the process operating variables were screened using stage exergy rate diagrams. Only the simulation run with feasible profiles were selected for deriving the models for the optimization studies. The optimum operating set points for the variables were the same for the exegetic and economic optimization studies. Table 6 gives a summary of the optimization studies for two binary systems. The comparison of the optimization results with the base case conditions shows that operating the benzene-toluene distillation column with feed at 100 degrees C rather than 95 degrees C increased the second law efficiency from 66.86% to 71.61% and reduced the operating cost from $662,000 to $653,000. It is very significant that increase in the second law efficiency of the binary distillation operations corresponded with decrease in operating costs. Osuolale et al. 2010A. Additionally, Osuolale et al. 2010B opined that the stage exergy rate profiles depicting the exergetic driving forces in distillation columns are useful in optimizing column reflux ratio and determining the corresponding number of trays. Furthermore, the efficiency of the crude distillation unit can be improved by feed stream splitting, as demonstrated in Osuolale et al. 2011, with an improvement from 27 to 51%, while in another study, the reversibility from chemical exergy contribution was reduced from 2.2% to 1.5%. Control and optimization. Having established exergy efficiency as the true efficiency of process systems, we move ahead to incorporate it in the optimization and control of the process systems. One tool we have used was artificial neural network model. When building neural network models from the same data set, there's a possibility that different networks perform well in different regions of the input space. Hence, prediction accuracy on the entire input space could be improved when multiple neural networks are combined. In a bootstrap aggregated neural network model, several neural network models are developed to model the same relationship. Individual neural network models are developed from bootstrap resampling replications of the original training data. These models can be developed on different parts of the data set. A diagram of bootstrap aggregated neural network is shown in figure 12. Application to binary system. Osuolale and Yang 2014 presented a neural network-based strategy for the modeling and optimization of distillation columns, incorporating the second law of thermodynamics. BAN, that's bootstrap aggregated neural networks, were used in the study for enhanced model accuracy and reliability. Figure 13 gives the actual and band predicted model for training, testing, and validating. The actual and predicted values are superimposed, indicating the degree of accuracy of band model. And table 7 gives the optimization result, which was predicted using band. The distillate compositions were not compromised, showing that desired purity can be maintained with a corresponding increase in the exergy efficiency of the system. It can be seen from table 7 that actual exergy efficiencies are very close to band model predicted values. This further demonstrates the suitability of BAM models for the modeling and optimization of the Exergy efficiency of the distillation columns. Application to multi-component separation columns also demonstrates the effectiveness of the proposed method with a 32.4% improvement in the Exergy efficiency. Osuolale and Yang 2016. A description of the optimization procedure is in figure 14. Apart from binary and multi-component systems, Osuolale and Yang 2017 presented a methodology for optimizing the Exergy efficiency of atmospheric distillation units without trading off the product qualities. The actual and bound predicted values for training, testing, and validation are presented in figure 15. Again, as reported for binary systems, the actual and predicted lines are superimposed. This shows that the applications are diverse, but the methods are generic. With a weighting of 0.5, the optimized system has an efficiency of 83.67% as compared to the base case efficiency of 46.7%. The economic analysis reveals the energy saving potential of the proposed method as presented in Table 8. The optimization resulted in 76.1 increment of the Exergy efficiency. This translates to 44.8 decrease in irreversibility loss in the column and 7.6% reduction in energy cost of the column with reference to their initial values. The total profit was increased by $26.3 million per year. Other related works are presented in Osuolale and Yang 2015A and Osuolale and Anoze 2017. Osuolale and Yang 2015B surmised that few studies have been reported concerning the Exergy efficiency of various distillation column control structures. The choice of an energy efficient control configuration by incorporating thermodynamic second law in the selection criteria is described in this research. In addition to a relative gain array for assessing control loop interactions, a relative Exergy array is used in evaluating the energy efficiency of various control structures. The transfer functions of the control structures for two binary systems are presented in Table 9. It should be stressed here that the decisions regarding the controller should be based on dynamic simulations in addition to steady-state REA and RGA analysis. The simulation results were found to confirm the control structure selections. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, why have I concentrated effort at improving the efficiency of distillation columns? The refinery industry is one of the most highly energy-intensive industries, with the cost of energy for heat and power accounting for 40% of the operating costs. According to the North American Industry Classification System, the petroleum refineries consumed almost 20% of the fuel energy consumed by the United States. About 35% of this is consumed in two distillation processes in the refinery, that is the atmospheric distillation unit and the vacuum distillation unit. It has been observed that a 30% energy saving in this distillation column is equivalent to about 100,000 barrels of petroleum per day. Therefore, it can be conveniently concluded that improvements in the efficiency of the distillation units in the refinery will greatly improve the overall efficiency of the refinery, culminating in a reduction in total cost of production, an increase in throughput, and a reduction in the consumption of energy. This possibly might be one of the needed interventions for our heart of function refineries. My research in renewable energy. Having established energy efficiency of processes and means of improving them, I moved on to energy generation from renewable sources with particular focus on biomass, majorly agricultural residues that are discarded as waste to the environment. I also paid close attention to thermochemical means of conversion, especially gasification process. Gasification converts biomass into a combustible gas mixture called product gas or syngas, mainly made of carbon monoxide, hydrogen, and a lower content of methane, and is able to provide a wide range of products. Hydrogen is one of the main products of gasification and regarded by many scientists as key energy carrier of the future. Most of the hydrogen around the world is produced from fossil fuels, especially steam methane reforming. Therefore, biomass-based hydrogen can be a great leap to a great leap forward in the utilization of renewable energy. The Education and Research Sectoral Group, under my leadership, recently presented a white paper on hydrogen for Nigeria at the just concluded National Conference of Nigerian Society of Chemical Engineers in Abuja. Our research group in LAUTECH is in the mainstream of focusing on hydrogen generation from biomass. Pretreatment of biomass. Even though the technology to produce energy from biomass is gaining widespread attention, biomass in its raw form has some disadvantages. Biomass, therefore, must be pretreated for further utilization. Two methods of pretreatment we have studied are drying and torrefaction. We have conducted drying of some agricultural residues and microalgae with the objective of determining the effect of drying method and condition on drying rate and energy requirements. This is with the goal of obtaining data for the design, operation, and optimization of biomass dryers. The microalgae biomass was dried in open sun, solar dryer, hot air oven, and microwave dryer as depicted in figure 16. The moisture diffusivities, activation energies, specific energies required, and kinetics of open sun, solar, hot air, and microwave drying are as projected. And the research concluded that higher drying rate could be achieved with microwave drying compared to convective drying methods. For instance, in figure 17, the drying rate of 0.5 gram water per gram dry matter per minute was achieved at 700 watts compared to 0.03 in hot air oven and about 0.02 in solar dryer. Also, the solar dryer was slow and weather dependent, but it utilizes abundant and renewable solar energy source. Hence, we are currently exploring better design of solar dryer that will efficiently harness the abundant, free, and renewable solar radiation we have in Nigeria. Furthermore, a summary of other drying experiments conducted in our research group are presented in Table 10. While we have looked at drying extensively for biomass pretreatment process, we are currently exploring torrefaction with some appreciable preliminary results. Torrefaction is an emerging technology for the pretreatment of biomass. Hence, torrefaction can accelerate the development of biomass utilization technology. One of our studies on torrefaction of palm kernel shell is presented. We investigated the reactivity and kinetics of raw and torrefied palm kernel shell using thermographimetric analysis, with torrefaction temperature ranging from 200 to 300 degrees C in increment of 20 degrees C and gasified in 900 degrees C in air medium. And our observation are activation energy of the palm kernel shell was defined by the considered isoconversational method, and torrefied biomass produced a more reactive feedstock compared to original biomass. It might interest you, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, that our research group won the TED Fund institutional-based research grants to finance further research on these projects. I will now present some of our research work on gasification of biomass for energy generation. In one of our research, biomass gasification was presented as a solution to the menace of inadequate power generation, dependence on fossil fuel, greenhouse gas emission, and inappropriate disposal of waste. Figure 18 gives some possible products from the gasification of biomass. Babatunde Osuolale et al. 2019a. In another study, we explored the gasification of some indigenous biomass and studied the effects of pressure, temperature, and gasifying agents on the carbon conversion of each biomass. The experimental setup is presented in figure 19. And table 11 shows the comparison of syngas production at 900 degrees C. Changing the total operating pressure while keeping the steam partial pressure the same showed that the lowest pressure of 5 bar yielded the highest amount of hydrogen. For pressure of 5 and 10 bar, the difference between carbon monoxide and nitrogen production is negligible. However, when the total pressure was increased by a factor of 4 from 5 bar to 20 bar, the amount of carbon monoxide and hydrogen decreased by a factor of 3.5 and 9.2 respectively. The implication is operating at a lower pressure is best for the syngas production. Osuolale et al. 2022b. In another study, a downdraft gasifier, as given in figure 21, was simulated. The biomass was modeled as a hypothetical component using the experimental results of the ultimate and proximate analysis of the biomass. The performance of the model in predicting the yield of hydrogen in the syngas composition is in good agreement with some experimental results from literatures. Parametric analysis of the model on the effect of temperature and steam to biomass ratio revealed 800 degrees C and 2.5 respectively as the optimum conditions for high yield of hydrogen in the syngas. Osuolale et al. 2021. Additionally, economic evaluation of hydrogen from different sources was explored in Osuolale et al. 2021. Some hydrogen production routes that were considered are presented in figure 22. The hydrogen production from gasification process appears to be the most economical process amongst other hydrogen production processes considered. It costs about $1.38 per kilogram to produce hydrogen from large-scale gasification of biomass, while hydrogen from fuel cell, electrolysis, and biomass pyrolysis costs $2.76 per kilogram, $10 per kilogram, and $4.28 per kilogram, respectively. The process, it was concluded that the process has the potential to be developed as an alternative to the conventional hydrogen production process. Osuolale et al. 2021. Osuolale et al. 2022 be presented prediction of the high eating value of biomass based on ultimate and proximate analysis. HHV of biomass is very important for the design and operation of biomass-based energy conversion processes. Experimental determination of this property is very cumbersome and very expensive. And as presented here, the study compared existing empirical correlations with correlations that were newly developed in the study for 12 biomasses that are typical to Nigeria. The mean absolute error and average absolute error of the existing and developed correlations are presented in table 12. And the developed correlations are seen to be more accurate in predicting the HHV. This is expected because the existing correlations were not developed based on biomass that are typical to Nigeria. This further substantiates the unavoidable need for us to be intentional in promoting technology to fit our local needs. Osuolale et al. 2019 also presented ultimate and proximate analysis results of some biomass in Nigeria. The result is useful in determining appropriate gasification technology that the biomass can be subjected to. Some remarks. The biomass that are presented here are from agricultural byproducts, which are often discarded as waste. This waste could be converted to energy. One of the ultimate benefits of using biomass gasification for energy is to reduce dependence of fossil fuel and thereby reduce greenhouse gas emission. Developing nations like Nigeria has abundant biomass, but still suffers from inadequate power supply. Gasification of biomass to fuel is a solution with long-term economic and environmental benefits. Other products from biomass conversion processes that we have considered in our research group are biodiesel and biogas. Biodiesel is a renewable, biodegradable oil that can be produced from animal fat. We have considered castor seed oil and watermelon seed, among others, to produce biodiesel. Again, biogas that we have produced is a mixture of gas that is produced by anaerobic conversion of biomass, such as landfill waste, sewage, or animal manure. In one of our studies, spent grain, rice husk, and poultry dropping at a ratio of 5:3:2 were digested anaerobically, and the result shows that a cumulative of biogas of 16.86. Again, in one of our reviews on current trends, recent issues, and future prospects of anaerobic digestion as considered in Odejobi Osuolale et al. 2022 and Odejobi Osuolale et al. 2021, the result shows that the animal manure of 227,500 tons per day and agricultural crop residues of 83 million tons per year and petroleum sludge of 500 cubic meters per day respectively can generate biogas of 6.8 million cubic meters per day, 4.98 billion cubic meters per year, and 10,500 cubic meters per day of biogas respectively. The total energy potential for agricultural residues and animal manure in Nigeria alone are more than enough to solve our energy problem. And most of our energy problem, especially the municipal solid waste that we have all around us, all this could be converted to energy. Recently, I granted an interview, a TV interview sometimes in July this year, on the future of clean energy in Nigeria, especially as regards to management of municipal solid waste. Conclusion. In Jane Watson, 3 hungry men and strategies for problem solving. 3 tired and hungry men went to sleep with a bag of apples. One man woke up, ate 1/3 of the apples, then went back to sleep. Later, a second man woke up and ate 1/3 of the remaining apples, then went back to sleep. Finally, the third man woke up and ate 1/3 of the remaining apples. When he was finished, there were 8 apples left. How many apples were in the bag originally? I'm sure the great minds here will still find the answer to be 27. But a quick sampling will reveal different ways to arrive at the answer. The corollary from this example is that the solution to Nigeria's energy problem is not just one. To realize our vision of universal energy access, we must adopt a multifaceted approach. I have presented some of my research over the years on energy efficiency. Energy efficiency is about doing more with less. Energy efficiency is critical because it can lead to significant cost savings, as I have demonstrated, and reduce environmental impact and enhance energy security. And the methods we have developed over the years cut across various chemical and petrochemical operations. These can be deployed on different processes and at different levels to optimize process energy usage. Furthermore, we can't keep relying on energy from fossil fuel. In this era of electricity tariff, exorbitant cost of fossil fuel products, and incessant national electricity grid collapse, we must look around and make use of abundant biomass around us for conversion to electrical energy. We need to diversify our energy mix. Beyond this, we can leverage on some of our research products to have portable and efficient cooking fuels, mini grids of biomass power homes, decentralized power supplies for villages, and so on. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, energy efficiency and renewable energy are 2 sides of the same coin. We have presented things that could be a solution to our menace. And in reality, the universal energy access in Nigeria should not be a myth, but should be our reality. It should no longer be a mirage if we can deploy some of these things that we have discussed. Recommendations. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, from the foregoing discussions, I want to make the following recommendations. There's a need for continuous research and development. Again, our great university is more than ripe for a center of excellence on energy. We need to invest in capacity building. Government also should enact supportive policies and regulatory frameworks that can incentivize investment in energy infrastructure. And public and private sector investment can be mobilized to bridge funding gaps and facilitate access to affordable financing mechanisms for energy projects. Acknowledgements. To God be the glory for his faithfulness upon my life. I acknowledge him for his mighty deeds and acts. Without him, I am nothing, but of his fullness, I have received grace upon grace. May his name be highly praised. I realize the depth of gratitude I hold to many. And here are a few words of thanks and appreciation to all and everyone who deserves more than words can convey. My humanity and memory might fail me to accord due recognition to everyone. Please permit my laxity. To all I might fail to mention, this line is dedicated to you. Thank you for being part of my success story. Thank you for your significant contribution in partnering with God to make me who I am today. Thank you. I am grateful to God for my wonderful parents. Dad and Mom, please stand up. Reverend Dr. Rufus Adisa Amuda and Evangelist Flores Bolanle Amuda, thank you, Dad and Mom, for investing in the girl child. Your commitment and dedication to your children's welfare are unrivaled. This might sound like a cliche, but it is the candid truth. I remember vividly that my first visit to this university in 1992 was with my dad. I will leave my look and courage then to your imagination. Thank you, Dad and Mom, for your love and sacrifice. On a bright sunny day, sometimes in 1999 during my service here, I suddenly saw my mom at the Corpus Lodge in Kankara, Katsina State. My first question was, Kilo Shele? And her response was, to say I was surprised to see her was an understatement. Thank you for being exemplary in every way. May you keep enjoying the fruits of your labors. I love you so much, Dad and Mom. I appreciate my parents-in-law, Mama Sarah Osuolale, who is unavoidably absent. Thank you for being a great mother. May you keep enjoying the fruits of your labor. I appreciate the Vice Chancellor, Professor R.Eng Kalilu, for this golden opportunity to present the 61st inaugural lecture, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Strategic and Development, Professor A.T.J. Ogunkule, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and Innovation, Professor D.O. Araromi, and who doubles as my Oga as well, and indeed, all the principal officers of the university. Thank you so much. I do not take this grace for granted. I also appreciate all past Vice Chancellors of this great citadel of learning for their meaningful contribution to my life. I must also appreciate my academic parents, people that invested me to become who I am today. All my primary and secondary school teachers, I'm dedicating these lines to you. Professor Musa Salahu, if he's here, Professor Musa Salahu, who is my physics and chemistry teacher in MCSChe High School. Thank you, sir, for coming. He was my physics and chemistry teacher that formed the basis of what I am today, so to say, in MCSChe High School, Erua. I appreciate all my lecturers at Ladoke, Akintola University from 1992 to 1998. Thank you very much. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, for lack of space and time, I will mention only my departmental lecturers in my undergraduate days. Professor T.J. Afolabi, please kindly stand up, ma, who also doubles as my undergraduate supervisor. Thank you so much, ma. I equally acknowledge Professor D.O. Araromi, Professor O.A. Oluwarotiowa, Dr. T. Okelano, Engineer I.O. Latinwo, Professor Eleta from Unilorin. Yes, please stand up, ma, for recognition. Professor Karim and D.S. Oguneyi. I immensely acknowledge Professor Sanose, Akeredolu Shonibare, and E.A. Taiwo that had great impact on me while I was at OAU Ife for my postgraduate studies. And some of my lecturers that have gone to the great beyond, they are all remembered with fondness. I want to specially appreciate my supervisor for my MSc and PhD at Obafemi Awolowo University, Professor A.N. Anoze. Please stand up, sir. Thank you so much for your labor and patience. His response to my first manuscript submission to him then was, academic writing is a skill and you will get better with much practice. I suppose I'm getting there, sir. Thank you for being a unique supervisor, and thank you for all you have done. May your path keep shining brighter and brighter. My second PhD supervisor is online watching us, Professor Zhang of Newcastle University, United Kingdom. He really demonstrated a great commitment to the successful completion of my PhD, despite me having to juggle it with a baby that came in the second year. Thank you so much, sir, for your great support. I appreciate all my academic collaborators within and outside of Nigeria, especially Professor Kevin Whitty of University of Utah. I'm sure some of us know him here. He was here sometimes this year. I equally appreciate all that we have collaborated together, Professor Ogunleye Agari, Babatunde Odejobi, Osunleke, Odetoye, Dr. Salade Agbede Alagbe, Sulaimon Okoji, Oke, and Ajala. Thank you for your support all through the years. I appreciate all my graduates, both past and present. My sincere gratitude to Commonwealth Scholarship Commission for sponsoring my PhD program at Newcastle University, and for the Fulbright Visiting Scholar Program for sponsoring my trip to the United States. I'm grateful to the Dean Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Professor Osuolale, and all the past deans of the faculty. I'm immensely grateful for the kindness of Professor A.A. Rahim, Professor S.O. Bello, and Dr. Afolabi during numerous trips through and from Ife in pursuance of my postgraduate degrees. My sincere appreciation to the head of Chemical Engineering Department, Professor A.O. Ajani, and all the members of the department. I wish I can mention you one by one, but for lack of time. Thank you for harmonious working relationship. I also appreciate all the staff members of Chemical Engineering from the Department of Chemical Engineering, University of Ilorin. I know they are here. Thank you. Also, people from Obafemi Awolowo University, Department of Chemical Engineering. Thank you so much. My heartfelt gratitude to the 61st Inaugural Steering Committee that was ably chaired by Dr. A.O. Arinkwala, and these people worked tirelessly to the success of this program. They only told me, just make sure you are good with the manuscript. Every other thing we will take care, and they have done excellently. Thank you all so much. Professor Ajayi Oba Okekunle Oluremi Adebayo Ojuawo, O Ogunleye Kewa Ogunleye Abioye Babarinde Oke Olaoye Ogunlakin Aremu, Doctors Dada Aworanti Agbede Ojuawo Ojo Akinwumi Popola, Engineer Adeoye Alamu Akinpelu and Engineer Sarafadin. Thank you so much for your sacrifice and labor. A big thank you to the University Inaugural Lecture Committee under the chairmanship of Professor A. Oladiti for your guidance. I appreciate Professor Ogunleye, Osunbade, Dr. Salade, Agbede, and Arikola for their help in reviewing this manuscript. Special recognition to various professional bodies that have been actively involved in. Nigerian Society of Chemical Engineers is the national president is represented here today by Professor E.A. Taiwo. I acknowledge you, sir. And Professor Taiwo is wearing a double cap. He equally is the chairman of the Oyo-Osun Kwara Ekiti chapter of MNSChe. And all members of this chapter, I acknowledge you for great working relationship. I equally acknowledge all members of MAPWEN, all members of MNSChe and NAWACS. Due recognition to all my former classmates, beginning from my primary school, Oshupa Baptist Day School, Ogbomoso, Baptist Secondary Grammar School, Aoyaya, and Obaseku High School, Erua, as well as class 1992 of Chemical Engineering set. Please, as many of you as are here, can you do me the honor of standing up? Thank you. All my classmates, thank you, thank you, thank you. I also appreciate Obaseku High School Old Student Association. I know they are here. Mama Dickiness Elegbede has been here all the way from Ayetoro. Thank you. And one of the illustrious alumnus of Obaseku High School, who is also a staff here, that's Dr. Biodun Amuda. Thank you so much for your contributions. I appreciate the love and friendship of all my brothers and sisters, all my friends that I listed you in the program, please. I'm very sorry because of lack of constraints of time. I might not be able to mention everyone. Thank you for your love and your commitment to my welfare. I appreciate Baptist Students Fellowship, LAUTECH alumni, and all the national alumni bodies. Temidayo community where we live, thank you for peaceful coexistence. All my spiritual mentors and body bearers, Professor and Dr. Mrs. Bolabumi Ojewola, thank you, Sama. Reverend Pastor and Pastor Mrs. Mike Babatunde. I appreciate all men of God that have labored on my spiritual life and all members of these churches. New Erua Baptist Church, I know they are coming. I don't know whether they are here yet. New Erua Baptist Church, thank you so much for coming. Thank you, I appreciate you. Victory Baptist Church member, thank you. Maranatha Baptist Church and Westgate Baptist Church and Presbyterian Church USA, some of them are watching me online. Thank you so much. My special act of gratitude to Reverend and Mrs. J. Agbola. Is Baba here? Please stand up. Baba was instrumental to my first, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Baba was instrumental to my first appointment at LAUTECH as a teaching assistant. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate all my fathers in the Lord who were my parents' friends, but have become my parents today. Evangelist and Mrs. J. Adeleke, thank you so much, sir. Reverend Dr. and Mrs. M.O. Olaniyan, Reverend Dr. and Mrs. M.O. Olaniyi, Pastor and Mrs. Aderoju, Evangelist and Mrs. Ojo, and many more. I appreciate you all. Thank you, sir. I appreciate my in-laws. They are the people that have been taking care of me for some decades now. Mr. and Mrs. Adekunle, they are here. Mr. and Mrs. Igene, Reverend Dr. and Mrs. Oguntade, and Uncle Amami Owolabi, and others that are unavoidably absent. All my uncles and aunties from both parents' side are all appreciated. All my cousins, the Fatokis, Ajanis, Amudas, Fatais, Abanikondas, and so on. A special appreciation to my aunt, Mrs. Maria Fatoki, Mama Randa. Mama Randa, if you are here, stand up. She was a strong support system to me during my postgraduate studies. My children have fond memories of after-school hours with her. Thank you so much, ma'am. I appreciate my dear friend, Dr. Fumilayo Agunlejika. I'm sure she's watching me online. My siblings, Reverend and Mrs. Akindele Downsi, Reverend Dr. Oluwakemi and Reverend Omodele Omotunde, you can stand up, let people know you. Peace and Princess Sunday Fumilola Adaramola, Mr. and Mrs. Akinronke, and that's the speaker. I appreciate you for fond memories you have created over the years. Thank you for having my back always. Special shout out to all my nieces and nephews. They are plenty, they are here. Thank you for making me a proud auntie. Thank you, I love you. My utmost gratitude to my immediate family, my great girls. Toluwanimi Oluwabukumi, stand up. Temitayo Iyanu Oluwa and Oluwatobi Joy. Thank you for making motherhood joyful for me. Thank you for your love and understanding, your support and sacrifices. I am grateful to God for the grace of having you. May your path keep shining brighter and brighter. May my own attainment be your starting point in life. I love you so dearly, girls. And to the love of my life. Yes, my number one support system. Olówó orí ọkọ Fúnmiláyọ̀. Professor Olukorede Michael Osuolale, thank you for your unconditional love that look beyond my inadequacies, hype my strength, celebrate my achievements, and cheer me on to greater heights. I appreciate your love, your devotion, and commitment. You have demonstrated over and over again that you are a great man. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. May the blessings of God abound more and more upon you. And now to the immortal, invisible, the all-doing and the only wise God, the most blessed, most glorious, the ancient of days, almighty, victorious, thy great name I praise. Thank you all for your kind listening. Thank you.
I hereby declare the 61st inaugural lecture closed.
And the beginning of the race of progress. Students of LAUTECH are the leaders today we manifest. Great staff committed to the training of the total persons. Great LAUTECH. Aṣíwájú l'Ẹlẹ́dùmarè fún wa nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe gírí, ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ ká tẹpá wa mọ́ṣẹ́, ká bára wa sọ̀rọ̀, ká sòdodo, ká ṣohun tó tọ́ tó dára, nígbà gbogbo, níbi gbogbo fún ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Onírẹ̀yìn o.